We have a wonderful presentation from our national sales trainer, Angela Jo Maneri, and she's going to be sharing with you some thoughts. And it's called, Think About What You're Thinking About. So give a very warm welcome to our very dear national trainer, Angela Jo Maneri.
Feels pretty comfortable. I don't know why I went to bed so late last night. I'm so exhausted this morning. And, I do this every night. I just get to check one more email. And what happens? 2 hours later, I'm still on the computer. And I just never have enough time to get all that I have to get done. My mama always used to say, a man can work from sun to sun, but a woman's work is never done. Oh, I'm going to make so many phone calls today. But you know what? I don't even know why I bother, because no one wants to have a party. And everyone's so busy. And with the economy, nobody ever has any money to spend. Oh, I so wish I knew customers that would just return my phone calls. And I so wish I had more time to put into this business. And I so wish I had more people like me that would I just can't find people that are into organic in my area. I just can't get organized enough to even make the phone calls. And I just can't reach anybody. Everybody's so busy. I'm so exhausted. I just so want this business to work. But this business is so successful, but my family and friends just don't support me. And I so want to be an effective leader. But where did all my people go? Alright, I think I might have been a little overboard. How many of you can relate to maybe just one of those things? Just one? Okay. We all have challenges, agreed? We all have challenges. And we have things that come into our life that can hinder us, right? But it's up to us whether we make excuses and complain, and do a lot of the buts and the can'ts and, all those negative things. So I want to make a shift. I went to a seminar years ago, and this was so impactful. So wanted to do this quick exercise. Hopefully it'll take about 30 seconds to a minute. All of you have index cards on your table. Somebody can pass them around real quick. And I want you to think about what is the biggest challenge that you have in your life right now. The biggest challenge, the biggest problem, whatever it is that's hindering you from getting to the next level. Whether it's personal, whether it's business related, I want you to write down your biggest problem. You wrote it right. Whoever is first at the table, if you can collect those, your biggest problem or your biggest challenge that's in your life right now that's hindering you from moving forward. Any challenge that you have. And then our wonderful team, our office staff is going to go around and collect them.
We don't put our names on them, right?
No. All right. All right, so now this is what we're going to do, and I need your help with this. On the count of 3, when I count to 3, I want everybody to do one clap. Just one clap. And after you clap, your problem is going to be gone. Okay, you ready? At the count of 3, you're going to clap. And your problem will be gone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Your problem's gone. How do you feel? You feel great? Awesome. But, uh-oh, I forgot one thing. I'm going to pass this around, and you're going to take somebody else's problem. Now how do you feel? Do you want to go back and look and find your own problem? Okay? So when it comes to problems, it's really not the problem that's the problem. It's our perception of the problem. Okay? Because we all have disappointments in our lives. But sometimes disappointments can be disguised as reappointments for something greater. Okay? So it's really not what happens to us, but it's how we allow it to define us and shape us. And it's a test, and our circumstances truly don't define who we are. Our circumstances won't change until we change in the circumstances. And it's like a diamond. Think about a diamond. What's a diamond? In its raw form, it's charcoal. Okay, but when it's under fire and pressure and heat, what does it become? A diamond. Okay? Did I say that wrong? Yeah, a diamond is just like charcoal, okay, but when it's underheated, it becomes one of the most precious gemstones in the world. So it's up to us to allow those pressures to really refine us and purify us so that we can shine. There's an analogy I just thought of the other day, and it has to do with grapes. What do you get when grapes are pressed?
Grape juice.
Wine. Okay, we get wine. Now, I want to ask you, what do you get when you're pressed? Do you allow the wine and fruit of your labor to be shared? Okay? Or do you get the other kind of wine? Okay? Here's a little tip. If, when you're complaining, that you start getting on your own nerves, it's definitely time to do an inventory of your attitude. Okay? Anybody ever get there? Okay. And it begins actually prior to when you even go to bed at night. How many of you have ever heard of this acronym, LIFO? L-I-F-O. It stands for last in, first out. Okay, so what it basically means is, before you go to bed at night, that last thought that you have in your mind, guess what? Typically is the first thought that you wake up with. I challenge you to think about that next time, because it really is a fact. Okay, so I challenge you to think about what you think about before you go to bed at night. So how do we make that change? There needs to be an intentional shift in our thoughts. And we need to be led by our thoughts, not our feelings. And it's a choice. It's a choice we have to make every single day. We don't have to live by what we think. We don't have to live by what has happened to us, and we don't have to live by what other people think. Okay? So how many of you want to rise to the top? I think we need to be louder. How many of you really want to rise to the top? Okay, well, in order to rise to the top, you have to think on purpose. You know I had to get an acronym in there somewhere, right? Okay, our thoughts are so important. They're like magnets. They attract all the negative or all the positive things. So we really have to determine and get our minds set and keep them set. Our minds are so powerful, they determine not only our thoughts, but then they turn into our words, our actions.